and we all sit down and we carefully staff the information that we got in the referral, and we are trying to decide, or we are deciding, whether this should be assigned or not. If the concerns that we have staffed, if they meet the legal standard for child abuse and neglect. Just in Red Team yesterday, for example, we had this complicated assessment or referral that came in that definitely looked like it would come to an assessment, and it turned out one of the ongoing workers that was there knew the family very well. She had worked with them previous and could give a lot of good information for us to take into consideration when we staffed it. So I think that people can see the purpose of it as it goes on, that everybody has a piece in the puzzle in this agency of working with the family, and everybody has a lot of information. There are a lot of emotions in our work, starting with the caller who calls in the concern, and then you have a screener writing it down, and so you have whatever the information triggers in them, and you have emotions in the group that are there and concerns that they have from past experience, etc., etc. So you have a big fog of emotional content, but when you put it up and use the framework, it kind of clears that fog, and you get to what are the facts here, and it makes it a better decision in my mind, and a fair decision. And at the time the assigned worker gets the information and they can look in the framework, it's clear why was it assigned or not, and that worker can explain to the family in a clearer way why they are knocking on their door. Through the framework, you take all that collected information and you put it in areas, in the different areas of safety concerns and where are the strengths. And also there is a component called the gray area. So if there are a lot of speculations going on, you can put that in the gray area, and it really analyzes the collected information from screening and makes it very clear what really are the concerns at hand. So it's up there on the board in a very clear way. You are also really having a lot of discussions within the team that is there at the moment, and so there is a group process going on as well. And I think it really makes everybody take out as much critical thinking as they can, because there are times there are big discussions and saying, I really am concerned about this, and then you analyze that to see, is that a gray area, that concern, or is that a real concern based on the information that you have? So it's also an exercise in critical thinking between all the members, I would say. Does this family have other resources that they are working with? Are there other eyes on the family? The information we get sometimes, it might say that if it comes from school, that the parents are always coming to parent-teacher conference, and they are very cooperative with the school. So that's a very important piece of information, versus if the school says, we have no idea how these parents are and they are very hostile. But all that can get lost if you just have a piece of paper, but if you put it up there, it's really clearly mapped. in a way that you have a sort of like a scale of, okay, here's safety concerns, but we have a lot of safety or we have a lot of strengths in place for this family.
We started doing red teams last August, and just jumped in and started doing them. The intake supervisors and Terry, our division manager, made some visits to the DR pilot counties, Arapahoe, Jeffco, Larimer, and observed their red teams. Sort of got the idea of what this process looked like. And we set up a schedule for people to sign up, sent out emails explaining what we were doing.
When you see the interest people have really to try to be a good parent, and life sometimes happens and wears you down, and I think that it's helpful to see how people can try to make it better and out of the interest and because of our attachment and love for our children.